Okay, let's start. So this is normally you have these two files, the classwork 9 and the chapter 3. So you should have WinRAR installed in order to uncompress the file. Just click on the file. What I'm doing in general, I click on the file and I drag and drop, and like this I have my file here. So inside you have chapter 3. You have these things, and you will see later on that these are databases in reality. Um, just if you have something called the complete here, this file, and this file, just delete them. We don't need them. Okay, we don't need them because they will disturb us in our work. Okay, just delete those files, and let's start. So this is the chapter 3. So I would like to start with the first. So these are not really exercises. These are detailed steps. In general, um, every exercise of these is especially the first ones, are questions in an exam. All this is one question. Open a file, it's not a task. It's very basic. So you will. So for that, what you are seeing here, it's a detailed thing because in the book is designed to make you follow the steps one by one for a beginner. So what I would like so the first exercise, the objective of the first exercise is how to create a database. Okay, how to create a database. In reality, you made a survey using a total station or something like this. Now the database, for example, is this file called topo survey.txt. If I click on this file, we'll find things like for example, the point number. Here you have northing, easting, elevation, and certain description of the point, what is the attributes of the points, etc. So this is my file. So I can import this file as a text file, as a comma limited text file, but I would like to import it as a database. It is different. When you generate a database, it's different from, because I will not import it directly on my drawing, but I'm gonna upload it and manipulate it in the perspective. Okay, in the zone where you deal with databases. So before this, if you open Civil 3D, so in the first exercise, what is demanded is to open a template. So I'm gonna open drawing, change here to DWT. So this template is similar to the template we created when we work in AutoCAD. Okay, so I'm gonna go to teaching M1, classwork 9, chapter 3, and normally here you have a template called essentials. Okay, so I would open this template. So in this template, certainly you will not see what are the characteristics of this template. But what is important to note that you have the standard layers of AutoCAD Civil 3D. These are the standard layer of AutoCAD Civil 3D. Okay, so they are predefined, and you need them later on. In addition, there are other things I don't want to discuss now. We will discuss them one by one later on. So what is demanded in this first exercise is, I'm gonna let you, so they want you to change the working space to chapter 3 and go and create a database called essentials. So if you want to change your working space to chapter 3, you should go, the prospector manages what is in the drawing. But any database, any survey database, is managed by here in the icon. here called survey. You click here and you go and survey. You go at this level. You do a right click and you change your working folder. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna set my working folder not to classwork 9, but to I would enter to chapter 3 inside it. So I'm gonna select chapter 3 as a working folder. So if I select chapter 3, you look, there are some things that this one normally should not appear there, but anyway, because yesterday I created it with the other group. But anyway, yeah. No. Oh, sorry, I'm not in the good one. I should go to the group M1. To the group M1, classwork 9, chapter 3, and select this folder. So look, if you select this folder, if you do the job, you have this exclamation points. And why? It's simple. In reality, if you come here and you try to open it, or you do a right click, you have this information of migrate. Why? Because in reality, these databases were created in 2000, I think. If you do a right click, this file, maybe inside, if I enter inside, there's something inside. No, because I did the copy. But if you edit the file, you will see that the file was created in 2014 or 15. So in that period, the Civil 3D format of databases was SQL. Okay, so and even if you look inside the file here, essential one, these are the formats. Okay, SDBX. Okay, so these are the formats of your database. From the moment you will migrate, you will see there are new files created that permits you to manipulate SQLite files. It means that the database. Imagine you were working with a doc file, and now you are working with the docx file. This is the new format of database manipulation. So if I go here, that's why I have this kind of things. For your case, for example, if you do migrate, you not have this interface that will appear. Now you will have an interface with a link, and you should download a tool called AutoCAD Migration Tool. I downloaded it with the other group yesterday. This one. The name is Survey Database Migration Tool. If you do a right click, you will have an interface that appear, and you will find the link. Just click and download. It's 109 megabytes. It's not big as a file. So you download it, you install it. From the moment you install it, you will be able to have this. Okay? So this, as you see, it will convert the SQL file to an SQLite file. Okay? So if you do start, you can run, and it is converted. So if you look now to inside your file, if I close, I converted only the first one. Look now, there is no exclamation point, and you can right click and open it for edit. So you'll be able to open it. And if you look in your Explorer, as we said, M1, classwork 9, chapter 3, essential 1, look, the additional files. All these files, so look, all these files sort by date. So all these files, okay, where these files, were created this morning, okay, 18/4, 9/27, okay. Only these files were from the beginning, okay. You have a modification in your files. These files are SQLite files, etc. Same thing. If you look at the database essential 2, you have, for example, only these files were created 3/4/2022. Okay. If you migrate in essential 2, if you migrate, you will generate the same database in the new format. Okay, so show more, refresh. Okay, okay. Just I need just to click here, or maybe do okay. I need just open for edit. If you do this and you come back to Essential 2, you will find all the files. Okay, the يعني, and like if you want, if you I'm gonna close this survey database. So look, these two databases, these are existing, already existing databases. If you want to do all this in one step, you can come here, survey databases, and migrate all the databases in one step. And Civil 3D will do the job for you for all the. Later on, you just come migrate, click, just a simple right click, migrate, and now they are ready to be open. Okay. So another point before starting doing this, these are just. I mean, if you double click to open a database, it will be only in mode read only. So you have a deny, red symbol, which means that the format that you are editing you are opening the database is in a read only format. You can only read from you can't write on the database. So for that, you don't do a double click in general. If you want to edit, you have all this. You open for edit. In this case, you will be able to modify the content of your database. Okay? Now, this is before talking about anything. Now, how to create a database? How to create this essential 1, essential 2, and essential 6? How to create a database from scratch? You come here and you do a double click and you new survey database. New survey database, and you give it the name, for example, as demanded in the question, essentials, for example. If you do this and you do OK, so your database is created. From the moment, and this is important, it's not mentioned in the exercise. I will not follow the exercise in linear mode. I'm gonna inject my own remarks through the process of responding to the exercises. So one of the most important things to do before even importing anything is to define the units. So if we are working in the graphic, we know that we have limits, etc. So you can write in your drawing file. This is the drawing file. This is not the database. If you write units, you can define your units. We know this from the AutoCAD. Now, I'm not talking about the drawing. I'm talking about the database, which other thing. In the database here, you can come in the to essentials, for example. You do right click, and you come here and click on edit setting, survey database setting. If you don't do this, you are doing a big mistake. This is the first thing you should do when you create a database. Why? Because by default, you can specify the coordinate system. I can for example, I can choose a projection system here for Saudi Arabia, UTM, for example. Okay, I can choose UTM. I take, for example, 37N because we are in Medina. Okay, so this is one way. And in that case, what you are working later on, and if you import the Google Earth layer in the background, it will be projected in the UTM format in lab. Okay, so this is one thing. I will not do this now. Okay, I don't need it. I will not project anything. I can do this, and in that case, you will have a new icon that will appear here. And this new icon will permit you to load the background of Google of Bing, with an UTM projection. The most important thing for me is this one, the second one, the unit. You should choose a metric unit. Should not keep it in full. Otherwise, if you import anything, you will have incorrect results. So So you should do this. Another thing, you can keep this in degrees, decimal degrees, no problem. For the direction, you can keep bearing, no problem. For the temperature, I prefer working in Celsius or Kelvin. And for the pressure, I prefer working in millibar. But it's up to you. If it is in millimeter of mercurium, no problem also. But avoid working in inch, etc. Okay, you do this for the others elements. If you did your work using a total station and using a reflector, the information concerning this can be specified here. Okay, so prism stadia without, if the data collection was made without a prism, you can also specify it. So if you have any corrections, etc., all these are informations that can be added in your database. Okay, from the moment now, we're gonna focus on this only, and later on we will see if we want to change anything about precision, etc. Okay, so I'm gonna make okay. So if you do this, you'll be sure that if you import anything in metric format, you will not have an incorrect result at the end. So this is your database, and it is created. If you look in the folders now, you will see that you have a new database here called Essentials with all the, and the format is automatically SQLite because this is the new format for Civil 3D. If you create a database, I'm going to continue. We will see in exercise 2 and 3, but I'm going to continue. So this file, open it, called Essential, in reality have a certain property. If you look to the prospector, or if you look in the settings, you will see, for example, in the points, there are point styles defined, okay? These point styles are not the defaults. You can add or you can edit these point styles. The point styles can be ground surveyed points, can be trees, can be anything, can be benchmark points. If you have a benchmark point, I would like it when I import my text file, I would like it to appear as a benchmark. A tree should appear as a tree. This is the idea for Civil 3D. Okay, we are not working with points. We are working with objects. They have attributes, etc. That's why in the text file of the database you have, in the text file, this file that we gotta import, you have the point number, north and eastern elevation, and you have these codes. And these codes can be, I think, they can go to 13 sub details. Here, for example, you have 3, here you have 2, here you have 2, here you have 1, and they have a mean. CLRD, for example, this is the center line of road. It means that point is the center line of road. If you have EP, it means it's the edge of a pavement. حرف أو طرف طريق. If you have, for example, I don't know, VNC, it's a fence, I think. If you have TR, it means that this is a tree with an elevation of with a height of 900 millimeters, and it's an oak tree or a pine tree, etc. So these are additional description keys, and they will be used later on by Civil 3D to give shape for your point. So this is important. So, and if you look also for the label styles, even the label styles, you have a lot of label styles. You can show your point with north and easting and elevation and the number of the point number, or you can show only the point number, or you can only show the elevation. It will be made in an automatically. Okay, if you specify a description key for a format, it will appear automatically. أيضا we have something called, look, in any standard AutoCAD file, AutoCAD Civil 3D file, you will not have you will have only this Civil 3D, and if you do a right click, you have some description keys for the tree, for etc. But in this exercise, because the database called Essential was made by someone, he defined a lot of description keys. Okay, these are the description keys defined by the engineer who made that template. And normally these description keys will give a shape for any description point, for any point with that description. Okay, and for example here, if you look, if I click, you have all these codes. These codes will be seen by Civil 3D, and you will have, if you specify here, for example, that they should appear as a tree, they will appear as a tree, etc., etc. If they will appear as default, they're gonna, for example, in this case, they appear as a tree. I'm gonna put it default. Okay. If you put them as a default, they will appear as similarly to other points. And how to import my points? In the survey data here in the import event, I do a right click and I go to import survey data, which is different. Importing the survey data is different from importing a file. Yeah, in the homework, you will import a file, the, the assignment 7. You will import the text file after cleaning the points, etc. But here, I'm gonna import my points in the database. It's different. You don't have the ability to delete it from the database. There's a specific way to delete the points in that case. So I'm gonna choose essentials. Next, the point format is point, northing, elevation, Z elevation, and description keys. I'm gonna choose a specific format. So here, I'm gonna choose PNEZD, okay? PNEZD, comma delimited, okay? And I'm gonna import the file. For example, here, M1, classwork 9, chapter, okay, topo survey, good, like this. You have the point. Here you have a certain preview of the first 20 points. Okay, this is the point number for the first column. If you open the text file, you would see it. If you open the text file, you will see that here you have the point number. Here you have first column, second column, third column, and the last column where you have a description. So that's why they appear like this here. So if you do next, here, for example, this is normally they should have this is the default format. So if I import them, look, the points were imported and they are here. Okay, they are here. These are my points. Okay, you can do like this. You choose the points and they are here. They have your point number. If you have a name for the point, also it can be read by the tool, easting, the northing, the elevation, etc. Okay. Okay, this is important. Now, certainly in your drawing, if you do a zoom extended, there's no point. There's nothing. If you look at the prospector, there's no points, because if there's any point, this you will have a black point here. But how to make the points appear in the drawing, how to inject them in the drawing, you should come to the survey and right-click on the point and say insert into the drawing. And they will be inserted in the drawing, okay? These are your points, okay? Now, these are your points. And by default here, because in reality, the description key tree is activated. So for example, these trees, they are appearing as trees, okay? So, this is because in the template they are defined like this. Okay, so this is my first remark. I'm gonna close this file. I will not. I can save. I'm gone far a little bit from the exercise, just to make you understand that 3 exercises in this tutorial are in reality just 3 simple moves. Yeah, they are not complicated. Okay, this is the. Okay, as I said in the exercise 1 here, so we will open the data. We already opened the file import survey data. .dwg, you will edit or open for edit the database essential 1. You will import the file topo survey.txt, and in the options, when you import the point file, you should choose the format point number, PNEZD, means that point number, northing, easting, elevation, D for description, and like this, the file will be imported directly without any problem. I would like to stress a point, and I will do it for the last time. And after this, you will not listen to this again. Think, and this is what the strength of Civil 3D. That Civil 3D is a very strong tool. In addition, for example, in many capstones they are using WaterCAD to design water supplies for the cities or for the guys with us in the capstone project. But Civil 3D can do the job also. And it can do design for bridges, design for water supply, for evacuation, for rainstorm, for example, or hydrological design. So that's why it's very important to learn. Even after graduating, etc., you should have a certificate. You should do training in this tool to reinforce your knowledge, because it's a strong tool. It's needed. It's needed, and when you put it in your CV, it's important. I'm gonna come back to this. So this is the format, and they are telling you to process the line work. The processing of the line work. This is an important detail in Civil 3D. In reality, when you import a point file, Civil 3D, if you define the description keys for your point, Civil 3D will know. And you should inform him from the beginning, before importing the database, that this is a tree, this is a manhole, this is a benchmark. Like this, when you import the point file, they will appear like wanted. يعني شجرة لا تظهر شجرة. Tree should appear as a tree. The benchmark should appear as a point, a triangle point with a circle inside and a point, etc. If you have a fence, or if you have, for example, center line of a road or an edge of pavement, they should appear as lines. They should be linked together with a line. A surveyor do this job when he's surveying his points in order to facilitate the work later on. For example, imagine you have a humid area, okay? You survey the limits in your land survey. You survey this limit, and you say this area is humid. Huh? So you circle it, and if you are working in a classic way without informing about the description keys of that point, they will appear up as points. Huh? And you should come back and link them with a polyline and say that this is a humid area. In Civil 3D, if you inform him from the moment we are surveying, you take these points in a successive order, and you tell him this point, you start from this point, and you link them together, they will appear linked in your drawing. This is very nice. This is very nice because you facilitate all the job, and it's an automatization process. هي عملية مكننة لعملية سحب النقاط، فتصير تعطيهم توصيف بصفة آلية. This is important. So we're gonna talk about this now. So let's do it. I hope I didn't talk a lot, right? So I'm gonna open for edit my database, okay? And I go to my before going to my import event, because I would remember this. So you go to the right click here, okay? Edit survey database setting. You should verify that is in metric, otherwise you'll be in trouble. You should verify this. This is even this. I prefer putting this in Celsius and this in millibar. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna import survey data. I should choose essential one. Next, a point file. You have a lot of format. You have a lot of format. You have what we call a book file, land XML file. These are standard formats, very known formats used in surveying. Okay, and you have a point from a drawing. Okay, I think the first one, field book file. This is an old format that was used before in Civil 3D, but it was withdrawn. Okay, they don't use it anymore, I think. So I'm gonna choose point file, And by the way, I don't want to enter in details because there's a lot of details. I think there's some possibility you can even enhance this, or maybe here you can even create your style. Okay, you can add additional formats. So in our case, for example, we will take point file and we will take point northing, easting elevation. So في البوينت northing easting elevation PNEZD, you have two formats. You have space delimited and comma delimited. Okay, comma delimited in general, like CSV files, for example. CSV files are comma comma delimited files. So I'm gonna take this one, the second one, comma delimited, and add here, okay, add files, and go to my, this is M1 chapter 3, okay, so I'm gonna do topo survey, okay, so if you import the file, as I said, you will have the point number, the northing, the easting, the point elevation, and the row description. This is because you define things like this, huh? Because you define this. If you do an error, for example, you intervert, you import it as PANZD, the points will be rotated, and you will have an error in your measurement. You have to take care about this. So I'm gonna do next. Here you don't have any. All these are details. We're gonna talk about them later on. Here, the figure prefix database, and I don't know why this is essential, but normally it's so. Okay. Normally this is the default value. Okay, this is sample. This is the default format sample. This is the default format of Civil 3D. Okay, so if you read the file and you process the file, it will be imported. So your file is imported in the database now. Okay, so if you see here, you will see this file and you will see the points. If you click, they will appear here. Okay, and these points are not in your they are not in the drawing, so they are not here. Okay, so if you want to inject them in the drawing, you should do point update. For example, if you do update, also nothing changes, but you should do insert into the drawing, so they are inserted in the drawing. And if you zoom, look, they are similar. Okay, for example, if you put your cursor here, this is a Kogo point. You have the attributes, the point number, the style is a standard style, the layer is, they are injected in their respective layers. There's a logic also how to inject the points in the layers. Civil 3D, when you survey points and you import them, they can be affected, assigned to their respective layers according to the description, which is very nice. Because if a point is from a group ground, should appear in the layer of ground, it should be affected in that layer. If a point is from the limit of building, for example, it should appear in the layer relative to the buildings, etc., etc. So this is very it's completely different of what we are doing in classical AutoCAD. So they are injected here. So as you see, these points, okay, they are similar, and this is not what is needed, what we want to have in reality. But anyway, so we imported the points. What is demanded here? If you process the line work, if you come here, for example, to the prospector, and after injecting, they will appear like this here, okay? The database here can be updated. So we'll talk about the point groups. In reality, you can create different groups. You can split your points into groups, okay? In the drawing, this is relative to the drawing. It's not about the database. In the prospector, we are dealing with the drawing, okay? So here, if you come to the points, no, to the point group, yeah, to the points. You do apply description. We're gonna talk about this later on. I'm gonna go to the survey here, survey points, or maybe here. and you do process line work, and you choose the default sample. So the processing of line works, the objective, there's two types. There's the line work code set and the figure prefix database. So these two are used to make you see if there is a line. For example, if you define, for example, a wet area, and you define it as a closed area, the, the Civil 3D, when you process the line work, will link these points. طبعا there's a logic how to define them in the description column to link them in the correct order حتى يربطهم ورا بعض بالصح. Now if you do it, if you run, as you see, where is my points? Z, nothing changes, صح? I'm gonna tell you why. So if you look here, you have the line work code set. You have essentials, but what is activated now is the format sample. You have also the figure prefix database. Let me show you what is inside this. معلش, I'm traveling at the time, in the future. I'm talking a little bit about the next exercises. But let me show you this just to understand the logic. If you edit this, you will have this. And normally, this interface informs about what? Informs if you have, for example, to link center line of a rod. You would like when you import your files, the points joined with a line, the center line of a rod joined with a line. You should specify what is the code for center line. For example, CLRD, it's for center line, and you should add the code B. For example, in this default, beginning of a line is B, to continue C, to end E. But if you look at your own file here, this is my file, property. If you look at this file, open it, okay, and you click on it, here for beginning you use BEG, and for the end you use END, end. That's why they are not appealing. These lines are not appealing. This is important, and we will talk about this later. Okay, I would like to save and close the file. Okay, so this is. So we'll open the file. Line work code set DWG. Oops. This is the last step where we stop the previous exercise. وقفنا هنا. In the book, it's split. The steps are split by exercise. So these are the points. You have the points. All the points are similar, but in reality they are not similar. They don't have the same description. بعضها ground shorts, بعض الآخر edge of pavement, بعض الآخر center line of roads, بعض الآخر جزء من fences, etc. Anyway, so what is demanded in this exercise? So you open the file, click on the survey tool space. If you have essential to survey database, right click and make open for edit. So and try to process the line work code set. So first of all, this is essential to. I'm gonna open for edit. This is my survey database. So if you see the survey database, if you put your cursor, you will have the following. This is important. If you look at the file linked with this database, the file is C7-3D 2016 extension chapter 3. This file doesn't exist in my computer or in your computers. Okay, the folder and the file. Why? Because this is the original database made by the engineer who made the book. So we should update this file. we should re-import the file again. So I'm gonna go here, okay? Because if you do property, for example, and you click to see the file, there's nothing, okay? Because you don't have the file and you don't have the link. So I'm gonna do the following. I'm gonna re-import, right-click, re-import, profile, and go to stop a survey and re-import this again. So keep it sample and here sample, okay? And if you import the database as sample, nothing happens, by the way. Okay, this is what we did in the last exercise. So look, because here we have in the line work code set, if you edit, you have B, C, E, but if you look at your database, the codes are different. Here for begin, you have BEG. Here for end, for example, you have and, etc., etc. That's why it will not work. Okay, but you have also this line work code sets called essentials, and if you look to edit, they are in the good code. You can, by the way, you can create your own code. So, you can change this. I can even change sample to make it fit with my codes. But I'm gonna change this, make it current. So if you make it current here. If you run if you process the line work now and change here instead of sample essentials and here essentials, and you run the line work code set, they will be linked together. Okay, and this is what is it. And this should happen from the beginning, by the way. And in Nadarin, if you have the good line work code set and the good code prefix database. For example, here you have a building. It is the corners of the building were linked. Here, for example, you have a center line edge of pavement. If you come near the point and you look, what is this point? You will see that this point is top ditch. For example, here, this point is a top bottom ditch. Here, edge of shoulder. Here, edge of pave. Okay, and if you look, for example, at the characteristics of this point, you will see that this point were. I would like to see the point number. This is the point 14. If I open my top survey text at the point 14, you have EP, edge of pave, and you have the code BEG, begin your curve there. And if you look at the last point of your line work code set, which is this one here, okay? So it's, no, this one maybe. No, this one. دقيقة. Yeah, this one. Edge of pave, the number of is 27. If you look at 27 here, you will see that here, this is the series of the connected points until 27, and here you have an end. Okay, so that's why Civil 3D will understand the codes from this. Okay, same thing here. For example, the point is called edge shrub, and if you look, there's a beginning and there's an end, etc. Okay, so we connected these points, and there's another thing missing. Now you should give them the shape they should have. There's another thing. If it is لو هو صور من الشجر لازم يظهر كأنه شجر صور, not simply a line. So also this is an additional thing you should have. So if you look at here, for example, in the sample, if you look, there is nothing in the figure prefix database manager. But if you look in essentials, you have a lot of codes, so they will affect the points according to the nature to the correct layer. Okay, this is important. Here style basic, but later on you will see that the style will be changed. You can change the style. Okay. What else in this exercise? Yeah, it's only this. So I'm gonna save my file and close it. تمام. So for the exercise 4, you will open the file description key. So I'm gonna open this file. So normally all these steps are made on one file. You should, yeah. If you have a project, you will do this. It's only here. It's only for pedagogic purposes. It's split into exercises, but they are made on the same file. So I'm gonna open the file description keys, and the description keys. Let me show you what does it mean. So this is the last step where what we did until exercise 3. So this is what we did. We applied the description keys, etc. And the points appeared like this, but I would like them to appear differently. For example, here, in this zone, here it is zoomed. I can zoom again. Okay, so if you look at this green points, they have the attributes what? TR, if you read TR 900 oak. It's an oak tree with a height of 900 millimeters. Okay, so I would like to see it as a tree when I import my file. Okay, I don't want to see it as a cross. This is the idea of description keys. In reality, where you define the description keys, if you go here to the settings, to your points, to the so the, for the in the point style, you have a lot of styles. Okay, this is the style that you have in the label style also, because every point you can show a text with the point, link it with a point, informing about something. You have what we call description keys. If you click the one who created the exercise have created also a certain number of description keys. If you do property, not property, sorry. If you edit them, if you edit the keys, you will see them. These are the codes of the trees. For example, for a tree, TR anything, TR1, TR hello, TR ماجد, عادي أي شيء يبدأ بTR, it will appear as a tree. If the description key linked to that point is a tree, is TR, starting with TR. Certainly now, like this, if you apply the description keys, if you go to the points and you apply, for example, this is a point group. If you apply the description keys, nothing happens. Okay, and this is simply because in your description keys here, for example, for the trees, the style is the point style is standard, but from the moment you click. So standard, if you look at the preview here, it means it's a cross. Okay? Now, if you change this style to tree, what is how should appear on a tree? Look at the preview. This is the preview of a tree. If you choose here tree, so here I changed the style of the description key to tree, and I go to my prospector and I apply the description keys, they will appear as trees now. So if you defined from the beginning, if you defined your description keys correctly and how they should appear, when you import the text file, they should from the beginning appearing like this. Okay, this is concerning the point style. Now this point style. I need also to make a text appear with each tree, with its height and the nature of the tree, etc. So I'm gonna go also in the settings, you define by default how, when you import your file, how the points should appear. There's description keys. So if you click here, you can create, by the way, in an exam, I can ask you to create the description keys. Okay, or these description keys are a default. I designed them before the exam and I give you the file. So that's why, yeah, sometimes you should take care because the especially in an exam. By the way, that's so. If you look at this description keys, you have all the styles and you have the trees. And so here I set the style to tree. Okay. So what I would like to set now is the label style, because you have two things. You have the point style and the label style. The point style is the style of the point. Allah يلا. فقلنا هنا these are styles, okay? These are text styles. In the text style, the text style is a vector. You can, I think, go until 13 descriptions in the column of description keys, the last column of your text file. So if you see, for example, here, what is mentioned by default, dollar star means the dollar stars here, mentioned here, means that write everything you have in the description. Okay, so if I change this point label style to standard, okay, and I go and apply description keys again, look what happens. Now maybe here this is the zoom. You have all the information about your points. Maybe I can choose this point, for example. This is the point number. This is the elevation, and this is the total description key. TR 150.3 شجرة صنوبر. Okay, this is because what is mentioned in the description keys is dollar star. Star means everything. It's in programming, it's 2 points in general or something like this. In Python, maybe programming, you put 2 points, in MATLAB 2 points. It's all the data, what you find, everything. Take everything. So I'm gonna change this. Okay. In reality, this is a vector. The first element has the number 0. The second element has the number 1, and the third element has the number 2. Okay. I'm gonna go to the description here in my setting. Go to tree, and instead of putting dollar star, I'm gonna put $0 only. Okay, sorry. Okay, let's apply the description keys again, and look what happens here. Apply the description keys, $0, only TR, because it's the first element, the element number 0. In many programming languages, in many coding, they start counting from 0. It depends on, especially all the programming languages or scripts coming from the C language, C, C++, Java, Python, etc., etc. They start counting from 0. Okay. Anyway, so that's why you have this description, only this appearing, TR. Now let's change it, for example, to in the setting, I can make appear $1 only. $1. It's the height of the tree. So if you apply description key again, so you have 150. This is the height. This is the number 1. The number 2 is the type of the tree, pine, oak, anything. If I change here, for example, I put $2. And the description key of the label. So it's pine. Now I can do the following. For example, I can come here, write this is $0, $1 it's the height, and I add millimeters because it's 150 or 900 millimeters, and it's a $2. It's a NOK, and that's it. Now, if you update this, you will see that it will appear like this: TR 150 millimeters pi. You want to add السلام عليكم، خلاص تيجي هذا انت تضيف السلام عليكم تطلع معك. Okay, this is what is demanded.